Peace and prosperity be unto all who's listening and watching. It's your girl Shaeranea, right? And I'm back with another video. And it's not necessarily about being right or proving who is wrong, but it's more so about giving proper information and giving valuable content and allowing people to understand the difference between when they're right and when they're not right, and how people can see it and understand it in their mind based on their perception or their perspective. So just help people get a better understanding of themselves and the way they think and how things really are deep down inside. So the underlying problem in this world is you got givers and you got takers. And there is many people in this world that take, and there's many people who give. I believe there is more takers than there are givers, but we can discuss that on another day. But today we're going to discuss the difference between givers and takers, and the importance of each role, and how to know if you're one. So a giver usually is somebody who naturally gets taken for granted easily. No matter what happens to this person, no matter what goes on in their life, they're always giving themselves. They're always focused on what they can give rather than what they can receive. They're someone who's very selfless and not selfish. They're someone who is very charismatic and compassionate, who loves people and really genuinely want to help you no matter what. The importance of giving is more powerful than taking, because if you live in the concept or the abundance of giving, is like you will always attract like abundance. So if you live in the mindset of giving, like no matter what, you will always get what you've given, no matter what. But people who will love to give, who give themselves in a devoted manner, always, right? They always give in the most sincere and deep way, instead of being the person who is conceited, or just somebody who is, well, I did this and that for you. Somebody who's always constantly reminding you about what they've done, remembering how many wrongs you made, just somebody who remembers things and want to use the things that they've done against you as a bargaining chip. Those are not sincere, genuine people who give to you. Those are people who want to use you for the best time for when they need you. And those are people who need you for benefit, needs, motives, agendas. And you got to be careful with people you allow to be in your lives, because you can attract certain people. Now, like I said, based on the video I made yesterday, you ultimately decide the kind of person you want to be based on how you present yourself and all that good stuff. But that doesn't really matter, because when we live in a world where people are all about clout chasing and being with the times and just being misinformed and like to show themselves in the most negative ways possible, because certain things are accepted doesn't mean they're right, okay? Because this world has got it twisted. Anyways, so the thing about a giver is they're very happy to give to you. They feel joy when they do things for you, and they're not concerned about when they can get it back or if they ever get it back. Naturally, they'll always give, even when people burn them. Not burn them in a crazy way, like fire, but like when people disrespect them, mistreat them, take them for granted. People who give naturally get no matter what. The giving process never changed. Like people who give, they genuinely love to give. They're genuinely born to give. They're very compassionate, probably empaths, humanitarians, people who really care. You just want to be careful with who you give your time to and who you spend your energy on. So takers, the difference between those people are very selfish. They're always expecting things in return. They only look to do what's beneficial for them. They long to suck the energy out of you. They don't care about what you've done. They can care less about how much you've done for them or if you've done anything at all. The mind concept for them is you haven't done enough. Like, you need to do everything for me. It's all about me. And because it's all about me, it's never going to be about you. And these kind of people will drag you through it. They will harm you, your well-being, your energy, your life. And it will be shortened being around these kind of people. Honestly, it's a lot more negative people, a lot more people who take advantage and for granted. If you're somebody who uses people as tools and objects, I suggest you work on yourself, because, I mean, it's no purpose of appearing as a good person and looking like a good person if you're a shitty person. Like, what's the purpose? Like, there's no use for you. Like, you're totally useless, and you're useless to this world, and you have no benefit in a good way, you know, because it's not really about the beneficial of who you are, because everybody here is born with a purpose, and we're all here for a reason. And every gift that we all have that's governed inside us, that our talents that we, you know, work on every day, allows us to be great in the way that we know how. So what I'm saying is, if you're somebody who is deliberately taking people for granted, you know, misusing people, and you're very selfish, it's always about you, it's always about I, me, you're very conceited, always in the mirror, always thinking about you. And you could tell the difference between people who are about themselves, like, all the time. I get it, people believe in the God concept, and I believe in the God concept too, because God is within, and we are the reflection and the essence of God. But people take this totally out of proportion. People go to the total extreme to narcissistic and even insecurity and even trauma, because a lot of people who stay in the mirror, a lot of people who take pictures of themselves, a lot of people who are very all about self. Now, I'm all about self-empowerment. I'm all about self-growth. I'm always about helping people learn to love themselves. But it's a difference between people who empower you to be great and those who are always, you know, always, like, you could tell the difference. Okay, you can definitely see people who are very narcissistic, very lack insecurity, don't have a lot of confidence, you know, just insecure people. And it's a lot of people out there who seek attention on a daily basis. So if you're somebody who is, I suggest you get help. Get a lot of help, okay? Because it's something within you that you're struggling with. And 9 times out of 10, people who struggle for the need of attention is because they lack attention when they were children. They didn't have the right guidance, and the kind of attention that they got was always bad. And now that they're older, the attention that they used to get when it was bad, they only get it through, like, self-conceited, like, they eat off of the compliments of other people. They need the validation of, oh, I look good, I'm big, I'm buff, I look nice. You need validation, you need compliments. And people who are like that are very insecure, are very narcissistic. People who really care about personal image don't value their real self, because if people think this outer look is what makes them who they are, they deceive themselves 1,000 and trillion. Just you deceive yourself in the most worst way possible, because this outer look is like your clothes. You make this look good, okay? These clothes, you make them look good. This shirt, I make this shirt look good because I already look good on the inside. And then I make this outside body look good because my personality is a great, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm happy on the inside, so I glow. That's just the confidence in a positive manner that I can show you. There's no narcissistic in that, okay? That's just me being straight honest with you and showing you the difference between people who believe that what they do is really good for themselves. These people who focus so much on their personal appearance usually neglect a lot about themselves, go through a constant struggle with their inner self, their mind, their heart, their soul, their spirit, and have a struggle with self based on personality, don't really understand themselves. Like, if you're somebody who is a taker, if you're somebody who is just deeply not connected to you, if you're somebody who don't love yourself, you're somebody who don't know your self-worth, your self-value, you definitely somebody who is very disconnected from yourself. And what I mean by that, I just mean that you're neglecting the most important parts about yourself. You're neglecting your mind, the things that make this function properly. Those are your choices, your decisions, your ideas, the things that you love and desire most, but it also functions everything else, your actions, your pure will, your motives, your agendas, your needs. It also generates those things as well. When you properly take care of yourself, the brain functions properly and your actions will also lead. If you're somebody who's very bad at decisions, gosh, you're somebody who actually have to experience pain. You only learn lessons through pain, and I feel sorry for you. Somebody who has to learn lessons through pain without ever learning to learn, without having to experience the pain of the lesson, they're going to really suffer in life, because you're always having to feel or experience the pain before you learn the lesson. There's no fun in that. Why would you need to experience pain all the time in order to learn the lesson? Like, you need to learn different valuable ways of how you can take on information without experiencing everything. Yes, it's great. Experience is great. But there's some things in this life that you can prevent yourself from having to experience or suffer from by watching other people or seeing their experience or feeling the empathy from what another person has felt or done. You learn a lot from watching other people, but if you still make foolish, wise decisions after seeing people, you're like a lost cause. I'm just gonna be honest. And I just want to say that you gotta learn how to experience the things that are worthy to experience, like things with your dreams, your passions, things that lines up with you. You know what I'm saying? But if you're like all out doing different things, wanting to experience other things that really doesn't align with what you're focused on, then you're gonna suffer a lot based on that alone. Because if your only key way of learning is through the cause of pain, then you most likely will be somebody who never learns a lesson, because you will always be behind. Somebody who always has to learn through pain, they always behind other people because they can never get ahead, and that's like a sucky way to learn. It really is. Like, I'm just gonna be honest. Though I have a high pain tolerance and I used to chase for pain, that is like a sucky way to learn. There's so many different ways that you can expand your mind to grow and learn as an individual. You don't want to necessarily be somebody who uses people and take people for granted on a daily basis. You don't want to use people as objects or options, or treat yourself like an object or an option. Just because you're somebody who helped doesn't mean you gotta misuse or mistreat yourself. You gotta take care of yourself. What's the purpose of living if you're gonna just misuse yourself? If you got kids and a woman or a man or somebody who loves you, family, wife, whatever, if you got people in your life that really care about you, why are you walking around like you're worthless? You act upon your worth with value. And if you act worthless, you might as well be. So the serious manner about this is because people act so worthless on a daily basis, and they wonder why nothing ever feels great. Nothing will ever be right, because people don't plan ahead. People don't see the importance of being ahead. People don't understand why most people strategize way ahead of time before they have anything going or have anything to back it. Also, people can't think like too far ahead. It's always like the now. Like, long as I have it now, I can do something with it. That's not like strategic. That's not logical. You know, once you get a hold to it, since you weren't thinking logically about what it was that you need to handle and how you can handle them in different ways, you're likely to blow money. You're likely to blow opportunities. You're likely to blow chances. You're likely to blow choices. You're likely to blow decisions. Anything like that in your life, you're likely to blow it, and just it just flows over your shoulder. And then that's your learning experience, baby. But we're going to talk about this in another video, and I can go deeper into that. But right now, just stay being a giver if you're a giver. And love yourself, even if people aren't very kind-hearted or compassionate. You know, you can't always make people, you know, appreciate what is worthy of having. You can always make people appreciate themselves. Like, or you can't make people appreciate themselves. And it's something that, you know, you gotta let people just destroy themselves for it. You know, you can't. And you just see all this weird, narcissistic, insecure, backwards, twisted trauma, unhealed, unprocessed, unbelief. You see all this in people, right? You feel all this unsureness, this lack of confidence, this so much doubt, this I need to be in the mirror because of past traumas, this I am triggered because this constantly is a memory of what happened to me, and I will never ever want to feel like this. Now I need to be in the mirror. Now I need the validation. Now I just want to be great because, you know, as long as my appearance is great, you know, even if I'm a shitty person, it doesn't matter how I look. It doesn't matter if I look good. Because if I'm looking good, if my clothes look good, who cares about my personality? Who cares about how good of a heart I have? Who cares if I can think right? Who cares? Because that's the kind of world we live in. A world that is not full of thinkers and people who really believe that if appearance is all that matters, it's all you can get. But I'm telling you guys, there's a lot of people out here really struggling with themselves. A lot of people who don't understand themselves. A lot of people who don't value themselves. A lot of people who don't know their self-worth will never learn to know their self-worth because they're still stuck in their own conflict, still stuck in their own misery, still stuck in their own lack of self-love. Yeah. Still stuck in their own past miseries and pains that are afflicted by constant triggers of trauma, of past things going on in their mind, re-evolving constantly creating the non-stop problem that goes on in their daily life. So constantly recreating the problem in the present now. And they can never be happy. Not truly. You know, they might could put up a fake smile, you know, and in person they're real happy, but outside of that, they suffer. They struggle, they're unhappy, they're miserable, they don't know what to do to themselves, you know, and you got a lot of people like that. And at this point, you know, you want to feel some kind of way for them, but you know, for people who don't take the actions to care for themselves, care more about this and what's going on with this, and don't care what's going on inside the mental stability, the well-being of the heart, the well-being of the mind. If it doesn't make this, it doesn't make sense. And you can't break the, you know, common denominator of the facts to make people understand the common sense of the well-being of the mental health and stability of your health is wealth, and you taking care of yourself is the most important thing ever. So when people get this concept in mind, maybe people will value themselves more. I'm actually thinking about working on a program that will help people become more self in love, fall in love with self, and help people get through the trauma, dramatic experiences and triggers that they go through, and help them understand the things that they're experiencing within themselves. So I'm actually thinking about working on a program for everybody, and if anybody's ever interested in that kind of stuff, just let me know. And if you need any information about me, whether it's an article about me, my books, my podcasts, my IG, my Instagram, my TikTok, it's all in the description box below. So comment what you like about this video, share, subscribe, like, and tell me how your day is. Peace and prosperity. Let's get it, guys. Let's have an abundant year. Never allow people to misuse you, mistreat you, and learn how to take control of your life. Don't be controlled forever, okay? Love.